Displaying great wealth or lavishness. Generous and lavish in giving, especially with money.
उदार, बहुत अधिक देने वाला.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Ribald, diffident, munificent, antithetical. Now the correct answer is munificent.
Munificent as adjective.
उदार, बहुत अधिक देने वाला.
Displaying great wealth or lavishness. Generous and lavish in giving, especially with money.
Synonym of
Munificent.
Generous, bountiful, charitable, liberal, philanthropic.
Antonym of
Munificent.
Greedy, stingy, avaricious, mean, mingy.
Here is the word family of munificent. As a noun munificence, as a adjective munificent, as a adverb munificently.
The host's munificent hospitality made her guests feel welcomed and comfortable. The company's munificent benefits package helped attract and retain top talent. The scholarship program offers munificent awards to students who demonstrate academic excellence. The philanthropist was known for his munificent donations to various causes and organizations. The billionaire's munificent donation to the charity helped fund numerous projects and initiatives.
common collocation of
Munificent.
Munificent donation. Definition: a generous or large-scale contribution of money, resources, or assets. Examples: the billionaire made a munificent donation to the charity, enabling them to fund multiple projects. Munificent gift. Definition: an extravagant or lavish present given with great generosity. Examples: she received a munificent gift from her admirer, a luxurious vacation to a tropical paradise. Munificent patron. Definition: a generous supporter or sponsor, often providing financial assistance to individuals or organizations. Examples: the artist was grateful to have a munificent patron who funded their artistic endeavors. Munificent act. Definition: a charitable or benevolent action that demonstrates great generosity. Examples: the businessman performed a munificent act by funding the construction of a new school in an impoverished community. Munificent grant. Definition: a substantial or significant financial award provided by an institution or organization. Examples: the research team was awarded a munificent grant to conduct groundbreaking scientific research.
Next question. Adjective meaning sad, sorrowful, or gloomy. Often used to describe a person's appearance of grief or unhappiness.
दुखी, उदासी से भरा.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Extant, indignant, doleful, precarious. Now the correct answer is doleful.
Doleful as adjective.
दुखी, उदासी से भरा.
Adjective meaning sad, sorrowful, or gloomy. Often used to describe a person's appearance of grief or unhappiness.
synonym of
Doleful.
Sad, mournful, sorrowful, dismal, gloomy.
antonym of
Doleful.
elated, glad, happy, blithe, joyful.
Here is the word family of doleful, as a noun dolefulness, as an adjective doleful, as an adverb dolefully.
The doleful music added to the melancholy mood of the movie's ending. The abandoned house had a doleful appearance, with its broken windows and overgrown weeds. The doleful news of the pandemic's impact on the economy was reported in the media. The funeral procession made its way down the street with the doleful sound of bagpipes playing in the background. The doleful expression on her face revealed her sadness and disappointment.
Common collocation of
Doleful.
Doleful sigh. Definition: a sigh that expresses melancholy or sadness. Examples: she let out a doleful sigh, feeling overwhelmed by the weight of her problems. Doleful expression. Definition: an expression or look that conveys sadness, sorrow, or grief. Examples: the actor portrayed a doleful expression to capture the character's deep despair. Doleful eyes. Definition: eyes that appear sad or filled with sorrow. Examples: the dog's doleful eyes tugged at the heartstrings of passers-by at the shelter. Doleful tone. Definition: a tone of voice that conveys sorrow or grief. Examples: the singer sang the ballad with a doleful tone that resonated with the audience. Doleful news. Definition: news that is sad or disheartening. Examples: the family received the doleful news of their loved one's passing.
Next question. Characterized by being frugal or thrifty, avoiding waste or extravagance. Economical or frugal in the use of resources, especially money.
कृपण, कंजूस, खर्च करने में अति कंजूसी.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Irrevocable, foolhardy, jocular, parsimonious. Now the correct answer is parsimonious.
Parsimonious as adjective.
कृपण, कंजूस, खर्च करने में अति कंजूसी.
Characterized by being frugal or thrifty, avoiding waste or extravagance. Economical or frugal in the use of resources, especially money.
synonym of
Parsimonious.
I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request.
antonym of
Parsimonious.
Generous, extravagant, lavish, liberal, unsparing.
Here is the word family of parsimonious, as a noun parsimony, as an adjective parsimonious, as an adverb parsimoniously.
The parsimonious boss wouldn't even let his employees use the company's coffee machine. The parsimonious landlord refused to make any repairs to the apartment. The company's parsimonious approach to salaries led to high employee turnover. The miserly old man was known for his parsimonious ways. The parsimonious shopper refused to buy anything that wasn't on sale.
common collocation of
Parsimonious.
Parsimonious spender. Definition: a person who is excessively frugal or thrifty, often reluctant to spend money. Examples: despite his wealth, he is a parsimonious spender, always seeking the best deals and avoiding unnecessary expenses. Parsimonious lifestyle. Definition: a lifestyle characterized by simplicity, minimalism, and careful management of resources. Examples: they lead a parsimonious lifestyle, avoiding excessive consumption and prioritizing saving and financial stability. Parsimonious approach. Definition: an approach that emphasizes efficiency and minimal resource usage. Examples: the company adopted a parsimonious approach to energy consumption, implementing energy-saving practices throughout its operations. Parsimonious budget. Definition: a budget that allows for minimal spending, prioritizing essential items, and cutting unnecessary expenses. Examples: due to financial constraints, they had to create a parsimonious budget for their upcoming trip. Parsimonious allocation. Definition: the careful and judicious distribution of resources, minimizing waste or excess. Examples: the nonprofit organization's parsimonious allocation of funds ensured that the majority went directly to the beneficiaries.
Next question. Extraordinarily large or great in size, amount, or degree. Impressively great in ability, achievement, or quality.
विशाल, अद्भुत, आकार या मात्रा में बहुत बड़ा.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Amorphous, prodigious, rakish, base. Now the correct answer is prodigious.
Prodigious as adjective.
विशाल, अद्भुत, आकार या मात्रा में बहुत बड़ा.
Extraordinarily large or great in size, amount, or degree. Impressively great in ability, achievement, or quality.
Synonym of
Prodigious.
Enormous, huge, immense, gigantic, tremendous.
Antonym of
Prodigious.
Unremarkable, normal, microscopic, ordinary, tiny.
Here is the word family of prodigious. As a noun prodigy, as an adjective prodigious, as an adverb prodigiously.
The writer displayed a prodigious talent for storytelling at a young age. The scientist made a prodigious discovery that changed the field of physics. The team accomplished a prodigious feat by building a bridge in record time. The band put on a prodigious performance that left the audience awestruck. The prodigious athlete broke several world records in a single event.
collocation of
Prodigious.
Prodigious strength. Definition: great or immense physical strength. Examples: the weightlifter displayed prodigious strength by lifting twice his body weight. Prodigious talent. Definition: exceptional or extraordinary talent or ability. Examples: the young violinist demonstrated prodigious talent at a very early age. Prodigious achievement. Definition: a remarkable or extraordinary accomplishment. Examples: the scientist's groundbreaking discovery was hailed as a prodigious achievement in the field of medicine. Prodigious intellect. Definition: an exceptionally intelligent or brilliant mind. Examples: the child prodigy's prodigious intellect allowed him to solve complex mathematical problems effortlessly. Prodigious appetite. Definition: an excessively large or voracious appetite. Examples: the competitive eater had a prodigious appetite and could consume large quantities of food in a short time.
Next question. Pertinent or appropriate. Relevant to a subject or situation.
संबंधित, किसी विषय से सीधे जुड़ा हुआ.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Bilious, germane, capricious, abysmal. Now the correct answer is germane.
Germane as adjective.
संबंधित, किसी विषय से सीधे जुड़ा हुआ.
Pertinent or appropriate. Relevant to a subject or situation.
Synonym of.
Germane.
Relevant, pertinent, appropriate, applicable, apposite.
Antonym of.
Germane.
Irrelevant, inappropriate, unsuitable, improper, inapplicable.
Here is the word family of germane, as a noun germaneness, as a adjective germane, as a adverb germanely.
The judge ruled that the evidence was germane to the case and could be presented in court. The discussion was germane to the topic at hand, and everyone participated eagerly. I'm not sure how your story is germane to the conversation we're having. The company's new policy was not germane to the workers' demands for better pay and benefits. She found it difficult to stay focused on the lecture because it wasn't germane to her research interests.
Common collocation of.
Germane.
Germane to the topic. Definition: directly relevant or pertinent to the subject under discussion. Examples: the speaker's remarks were highly germane to the theme of the conference. Germane information. Definition: information that is closely related to the matter at hand. Examples: the lawyer provided germane information to support his argument in court. Germane evidence. Definition: evidence that is directly applicable and supports a particular claim or argument. Examples: the forensic expert presented germane evidence that linked the suspect to the crime scene. Germane discussion. Definition: a discussion that focuses on relevant and significant points related to the subject. Examples: the team had a productive meeting with germane discussions about project timelines and deliverables. Germane experience. Definition: experience that is applicable and directly related to a specific role or field. Examples: the candidate's previous management experience was germane to the requirements of the job.
Next question. Done in a way that attempts to avoid notice or attention. Clandestine. Kept secret, especially because it would not be approved of.
गुप्त, छिपकर किया हुआ.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Raffish, surreptitious, fecund, snide. Now the correct answer is surreptitious.
Surreptitious as adjective.
गुप्त, छिपकर किया हुआ.
Done in a way that attempts to avoid notice or attention. Clandestine. Kept secret, especially because it would not be approved of.
Synonym of.
Surreptitious.
Furtive, secret, clandestine, stealthy, covert.
Antonym of
surreptitious,
Open, honest, overt, public, unconcealed.
Here is the word family of surreptitious. As a noun, surreptitiousness. As an adjective, surreptitious. As an adverb, surreptitiously.
the thief made a surreptitious entry into the building. She had a surreptitious smile on her face, hinting at a secret. They had a surreptitious meeting in the park after hours. He took a surreptitious glance at his phone during the presentation. The spies operated in a surreptitious manner to avoid detection.
collocation of
Surreptitious,
Surreptitious entry. Definition: referring to gaining access to a place or property without being noticed or authorized. Examples: the burglars made a surreptitious entry into the house through an unlocked window. Surreptitious glance. Definition: referring to a quick, furtive, or secretive look. Examples: she cast a surreptitious glance at her phone to check the time during the meeting. Surreptitious recording. Definition: referring to secretly capturing audio or video without others' knowledge or consent. Examples: the journalist made a surreptitious recording of the conversation to gather evidence. Surreptitious behavior. Definition: referring to actions that are intended to be hidden or done in a secretive manner. Examples: he exhibited surreptitious behavior by whispering to his companion during the lecture. Surreptitious affair. Definition: referring to a secret or clandestine romantic relationship. Examples: the married couple had a surreptitious affair that they kept hidden from their spouses.
Next question. Not considered to be true or reliable, of doubtful authenticity, of questionable authenticity, or of doubtful origin.
अविश्वसनीय, जिसकी सच्चाई पर संदेह हो.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Languid, panegyric, apocryphal, untrammeled. Now the correct answer is apocryphal.
Apocryphal as adjective.
अविश्वसनीय, जिसकी सच्चाई पर संदेह हो.
Not considered to be true or reliable, of doubtful authenticity, of questionable authenticity, or of doubtful origin.
Synonyms of
Apocryphal,
Fictitious, false, doubtful, spurious, untrue.
antonyms of
apocryphal,
Authentic, true, real, unquestionable, doubtless.
Here is the word family of apocryphal. As a noun, apocrypha. As an adjective, apocryphal. As an adverb, apocryphally.
The tale of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table is considered by many to be apocryphal, as there is little concrete evidence of their existence. The story of George Washington chopping down the cherry tree is now believed to be apocryphal, as there is no historical evidence to support it. The apocryphal claim that drinking bleach can cure COVID-19 has been widely debunked by medical professionals. The popular legend about the origin of the word posh has been debunked as apocryphal by linguistic experts. The rumor that the famous actor was secretly working as a spy during World War II is considered by most to be apocryphal.
Here are some useful collocations of
Apocryphal,
Apocryphal story. Definition: a story or account that is of doubtful authenticity or questionable veracity. Examples: the apocryphal tale of the Loch Ness Monster has fascinated people for years, but its existence remains unproven. Apocryphal rumor. Definition: a rumor or piece of information that is of dubious credibility or lacks sufficient evidence. Examples: the apocryphal rumor about a celebrity's secret wedding spread quickly, but was later proven false. Apocryphal text. Definition: a religious or historical text that is not considered part of the recognized or canonical scriptures. Examples: the Gospel of Thomas is an apocryphal text that is not included in the New Testament. Apocryphal character. Definition: a fictional character or figure that is not officially recognized or part of the established canon. Examples: the apocryphal character of Jane Watson is a fan-created counterpart to the iconic Sherlock Holmes. Apocryphal interpretation. Definition: an interpretation or explanation of a text, event, or phenomenon that is not widely acknowledged or accepted. Examples: the apocryphal interpretation of the painting offered a controversial and unconventional perspective on its meaning.
Next question. Native to or restricted to a particular place or country, typically as a result of geographical or environmental factors. Peculiar to a particular place, area, or people.
स्थानिक, किसी खास क्षेत्र तक सीमित.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Magisterial, staunch, endemic, pertinent. Now the correct answer is endemic.
Endemic as adjective.
स्थानिक, किसी खास क्षेत्र तक सीमित.
Native to or restricted to a particular place or country, typically as a result of geographical or environmental factors. Peculiar to a particular place, area, or people.
Synonym of
Endemic.
Indigenous, native, autochthonous, aboriginal, epidemic.
Antonym of
Endemic.
Epidemic, cosmopolitan, ecdemic, foreign, epizootic.
Here is the word family of endemic, as a noun endemic, as an adjective endemic, as an adverb endemically.
The disease is endemic to this region, and many people have developed immunity to it. The plant species is endemic to this type of soil and cannot grow in other environments. The species of bird is endemic to this island and cannot be found anywhere else. The dialect is endemic to the area and can be difficult for outsiders to understand. The cultural practices are endemic to the local community and have been passed down for generations.
common collocation of
Endemic.
Endemic species. Definition: referring to plants, animals, or diseases that are native or restricted to a particular geographic region. Examples: the koala is an endemic species of Australia, found nowhere else in the world. Endemic area region. Definition: a specific geographic area where a particular phenomenon, condition, or disease is commonly found or restricted. Examples: malaria is endemic to certain tropical regions with suitable environmental conditions for mosquito breeding. Endemic culture. Definition: referring to cultural practices, traditions, or customs that are unique or specific to a particular group or community. Examples: the indigenous tribe has an endemic culture that has been passed down through generations. Endemic problem issue. Definition: a recurring or persistent problem that is specific to a particular group, organization, or community. Examples: Corruption is an endemic issue in some countries, hampering economic growth and social development. Endemic knowledge. Definition: referring to specialized knowledge, skills, or expertise that is unique or prevalent within a particular profession or field. Examples: the chef has endemic knowledge of traditional Italian cuisine, passed down through generations.
Next question. Exhibiting symptoms such as fatigue, weakness, and pale skin due to a deficiency of red blood cells, lacking vitality, energy, or strength.
रक्ताल्पताग्रस्त जिसमें खून की कमी हो.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Precipient, anemic, provincial, muted. Now the correct answer is anemic.
Anemic as adjective.
रक्ताल्पताग्रस्त जिसमें खून की कमी हो.
Exhibiting symptoms such as fatigue, weakness, and pale skin due to a deficiency of red blood cells, lacking vitality, energy, or strength.
Synonyms of
Anemic,
Anemic, bloodless, feeble, pale, pallid.
antonyms of
anemic,
Strong, flushed, able, active, acute.
Here is the word family of anemic, as a noun anemia, as an adjective anemic, as an adverb anemically.
The plant's anemic leaves were a clear sign of nutrient deficiency. Despite their efforts, the team's anemic defense couldn't stop the opposing team's scoring. Her anemic performance in the competition disappointed her fans and coaches. The anemic sales figures indicated a decline in consumer demand. The anemic economy resulted in high unemployment rates and sluggish growth.
Here are some useful collocations of
Anemic,
Anemic condition. Definition: a medical condition characterized by a low level of red blood cells or hemoglobin. Examples: the patient's anemic condition required regular blood transfusions to improve their oxygen levels. Anemic symptoms. Definition: signs or indications of anemia, such as fatigue, weakness, pale skin, and shortness of breath. Examples: she experienced anemic symptoms like constant tiredness and dizziness, prompting her to seek medical attention. Anemic economy. Definition: a weak or sluggish economy with low growth, limited investment, and high unemployment. Examples: the country's anemic economy struggled to recover from the financial crisis, leading to widespread job losses. Anemic sales. Definition: poor or disappointing sales figures for a product or service. Examples: the company's anemic sales performance led to a decline in revenue and prompted management to rethink their marketing strategy. Anemic growth. Definition: slow or inadequate growth in a business, industry, or economy. Examples: the anemic growth in the manufacturing sector raised concerns about the overall economic outlook.
Next question. Displaying a strong bias or tendency towards a particular point of view, often in a way that disregards opposing opinions or evidence. Having a marked tendency to promote a specific agenda or opinion, typically without being impartial.
पक्षपाती, अपने विचार थोपने वाला.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Invidious, tendentious, profuse, sententious. Now the correct answer is tendentious.
Tendentious as adjective.
पक्षपाती, अपने विचार थोपने वाला.
Displaying a strong bias or tendency towards a particular point of view, often in a way that disregards opposing opinions or evidence. Having a marked tendency to promote a specific agenda or opinion, typically without being impartial.
Synonym of
Tendentious,
Biased, partisan, prejudiced, opinionated, partial.
Antonym of
tendentious,
Impartial, objective, unbiased, fair, neutral.
Here is the word family of tendentious, as a noun tendency, as an adjective tendentious, as an adverb tendentiously.
She avoided engaging in tendentious discussions to maintain a neutral stance. The author's tendentious writing style made it clear where his allegiances lay. The speaker's remarks were considered tendentious and biased by many. His article presented a tendentious viewpoint rather than an objective analysis. The documentary was criticized for its tendentious portrayal of historical events.
collocation of
Tendentious,
Ideologically tendentious. Definition: displaying biased or ideological viewpoints. Examples: the ideologically tendentious article favored one political party. Highly tendentious. Definition: extremely biased or inclined toward a particular viewpoint. Examples: the highly tendentious report omitted crucial opposing views. Culturally tendentious. Definition: biased or inclined towards a specific culture. Examples: the culturally tendentious critique undermined the diversity of artistic expression. Academically tendentious. Definition: showing bias within academic work. Examples: the academically tendentious study ignored contradictory data. Aggressively tendentious. Definition: being extremely forceful or assertive in promoting a bias. Examples: the aggressively tendentious campaign manipulated public opinion.
Next question. Careless, irresponsible, or ineffectual in one's actions or decisions. Lacking purpose, direction, or responsibility.
गैरजिम्मेदार, जिसमें क्षमता या जिम्मेदारी की कमी हो.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Uncanny, copious, feckless. Apposite. Now the correct answer is feckless.
Feckless as adjective.
गैरजिम्मेदार, जिसमें क्षमता या जिम्मेदारी की कमी हो.
Careless, irresponsible, or ineffectual in one's actions or decisions. Lacking purpose, direction, or responsibility.
Synonym of
Feckless.
Ineffectual, irresponsible, weak, ineffective, feeble.
Antonym of
Feckless.
Responsible, competent, effective, efficient, useful.
Here is the word family of feckless, as a noun fecklessness, as an adjective feckless, as an adverb fecklessly.
She's disappointed in her son's feckless behavior, as he never takes responsibility for his actions. His feckless attitude towards his studies caused him to fail his exams. The CEO criticized the company's feckless approach to marketing. The government's feckless handling of the pandemic led to a surge in cases and deaths. The teacher was frustrated with the students' feckless attempts at completing their assignments.
Common collocation of
Feckless.
Feckless decision. Definition: a decision that shows a lack of thought, consideration, or foresight. Examples: the company's feckless decision to invest in an untested market led to financial losses. Feckless attempt. Definition: an unsuccessful or futile effort due to a lack of skill, determination, or planning. Examples: his feckless attempt to repair the car only made the problem worse. Feckless promises. Empty or insincere promises that are unlikely to be fulfilled or carried out. Examples: the politician made feckless promises during the campaign, but failed to deliver on any of them. Feckless intervention. Definition: an ineffective or futile intervention in a situation or conflict. Examples: the feckless intervention by the mediator failed to resolve the dispute between the two parties. Feckless consequences. Definition: negative outcomes or repercussions resulting from feckless actions or decisions. Examples: the feckless handling of the environmental crisis led to dire consequences for the ecosystem.
Next question. Marked by or appealing to feelings or emotions, especially nostalgia. Showing, expressing, or having strong emotions or feelings, especially nostalgia or sadness.
भावुक, आसानी से भावनाओं में बहने वाला.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Tempered, unprecedented, stalwart, sentimental. Now the correct answer is sentimental.
Sentimental as adjective.
भावुक, आसानी से भावनाओं में बहने वाला.
Marked by or appealing to feelings or emotions, especially nostalgia. Showing, expressing, or having strong emotions or feelings, especially nostalgia or sadness.
Synonym of
Sentimental,
Maudlin, mushy, mawkish, emotional, tender.
Antonym of
sentimental,
Unemotional, indifferent, pragmatic, apathetic, cold-blooded.
Here is the word family of sentimental, as a noun sentiment, as a adjective sentimental, as a adverb sentimentally.
The movie was criticized for being too sentimental, relying on manipulative music and cliched plot devices. The gift was sentimental, as it had been passed down through generations of the family. The song was sentimental, evoking strong emotions of love and longing in the listeners. The writer's style was sentimental, focusing on the emotional lives of the characters rather than their actions and motives. The old photo album was full of sentimental memories, reminding the family of cherished moments from the past.
collocation of
Sentimental,
Sentimental souvenir. Definition: an item obtained as a memento or keepsake that carries sentimental value. Examples: she purchased a small seashell as a sentimental souvenir from her beach vacation. Sentimental story. Definition: a narrative that elicits emotional responses or sentimental feelings. Examples: the novel told a sentimental story of love, loss, and redemption that touched readers' hearts. Sentimental gesture. Definition: a heartfelt or emotionally meaningful action. Examples: he surprised her with a sentimental gesture on their anniversary. Sentimental keepsake. Definition: a personal item or memento kept for its emotional significance or reminder of past memories. Examples: she treasured the sentimental keepsake, a bracelet given to her by her late grandmother. Sentimental attachment. Definition: a deep emotional connection or affection for someone or something. Examples: he had a sentimental attachment to his childhood stuffed animal.
Next question. Having a truncated shape or form, shortened or cut off.
क्रूर, झगड़ालू और आक्रामक.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Preemptive, empathetic, truculent, staunch. Now the correct answer is truculent.
Truculent as adjective.
क्रूर, झगड़ालू और आक्रामक.
Having a truncated shape or form, shortened or cut off.
Synonym of
Truculent,
Belligerent, fierce, aggressive, ferocious, barbarous.
Antonym of
truculent,
Amicable, friendly, warm-hearted, conciliatory, gentle.
Here is the word family of truculent. As a noun, truculence. As a adjective, truculent. As a adverb, truculently.
The truculent customer demanded a refund. The truculent protesters clashed with the police. The truculent driver refused to yield to pedestrians. The truculent student refused to follow the rules. The truculent boss made it difficult for employees to work.
collocation of
truculent,
Truculent tone. Definition: the manner of speaking characterized by aggression, defiance, or hostility in one's voice. Examples: the supervisor used a truculent tone when addressing employees, creating a hostile work environment. Truculent glare. Definition: a sharp, fierce, or hostile stare that communicates aggression or defiance. Examples: the truculent glare from the angry customer sent a clear message of dissatisfaction and anger. Truculent remarks. Definition: aggressive, confrontational, or provocative comments or statements. Examples: the politician's truculent remarks during the press conference sparked controversy and heated debates. Truculent speech. Definition: the act of speaking in an aggressive, confrontational, or hostile manner. Examples: the politician's truculent speech during the debate ignited strong reactions and polarized opinions. Truculent behavior. Definition: aggressive, hostile, or confrontational actions or conduct. Examples: the football player displayed truculent behavior on the field, engaging in unnecessary roughness and provoking opponents.
Next question. Especially intellectual or mental abilities refers to the brain and its functions.
मस्तिष्क संबंधी, दिमाग से जुड़ा हुआ.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Diligent, cerebral, disinterested, saturnine. Now the correct answer is cerebral.
Cerebral as adjective.
मस्तिष्क संबंधी, दिमाग से जुड़ा हुआ.
Especially intellectual or mental abilities. Refers to the brain and its functions.
Synonyms of
Cerebral,
Intellectual, mental, intelligent, psychological, psychic.
Antonyms of
cerebral,
Corporeal, emotional, bodily, carnal, corporal.
Here is the word family of cerebral, as a noun cerebrum, as a adjective cerebral, as a adverb cerebrally.
The book club members enjoyed reading cerebral works of literature, such as James Joyce's Ulysses. The art exhibit showcased cerebral works that challenge viewers to think deeply about the meaning behind the pieces. The scientist was known for his cerebral approach to solving complex problems. The film director's cerebral style of storytelling was praised by critics for its intellectual depth. The professor's lectures were often considered cerebral and required a high level of critical thinking from the students.
Here are some useful collocations of
Cerebral,
Cerebral activity. Definition: intellectual or mental activity. Examples: the scientist studied the cerebral activity of the brain during problem-solving tasks. Cerebral cortex. Definition: the outer layer of the brain responsible for higher cognitive functions. Examples: damage to the cerebral cortex can result in cognitive impairments. Cerebral approach. Definition: a method or approach that emphasizes intellectual analysis and reasoning. Examples: the professor took a cerebral approach to understanding complex philosophical concepts. Cerebral capacity. Definition: the intellectual or cognitive capacity of an individual. Examples: the child demonstrated advanced cerebral capacity for his age. Cerebral stimulation. Definition: activities or experiences that intellectually engage and challenge the mind. Examples: reading challenging books provides cerebral stimulation.
Next question. Denoting a sin that is not regarded as serious or mortal, and therefore can be forgiven without the need for confession. Minor or pardonable, easily excused or overlooked.
क्षम्य, जिसे माफ किया जा सके.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Venial, poignant, insolent, inimitable. Now the correct answer is venial.
Venial as adjective.
क्षम्य, जिसे माफ किया जा सके.
Denoting a sin that is not regarded as serious or mortal, and therefore can be forgiven without the need for confession. Minor or pardonable, easily excused or overlooked.
Synonym of
Venial,
Excusable, pardonable, forgivable, minor, allowable.
Antonym of
venial,
Inexcusable, indefensible, unforgivable, abominable, damning.
Here is the word family of venial, as a noun veniality, as a adjective venial, as a adverb venially.
His white lie was considered a venial sin by the religious community. The chef's minor seasoning error was considered a venial mistake in the kitchen. The employee's mistake was seen as a venial error and not a major problem. Forgetting to return a borrowed book is a venial offense. Being a few minutes late to a meeting is a venial fault.
Collocation of
Venial.
Venial sin, mistake. Definition: a minor offense or wrongdoing that does not cause significant harm or damage. Examples in the Catholic faith: venial sins can be forgiven through sincere repentance and confession. Venial offense crime. Definition: a minor violation of the law or breach of rules that is considered less serious and punishable with leniency. Examples: the judge dismissed the case, considering the defendant's action as a venial offense. Venial fault error. Definition: a minor mistake or imperfection that does not have significant consequences. Examples: although she made a venial error in her presentation, her overall performance was impressive. Venial misunderstanding disagreement. Definition: a minor or trivial misunderstanding or disagreement that can be easily resolved. Examples: their argument was a venial disagreement over a minor detail and did not affect their friendship. Venial weakness/flaw. Definition: a minor weakness or imperfection in character or behavior that is considered forgivable. Examples: his occasional impatience is seen as a venial flaw in an otherwise admirable personality.
Next question. Fair, impartial, and unbiased. Treating all parties, sides, or individuals equally and without favoritism.
निष्पक्ष, सभी के साथ बराबरी का व्यवहार करने वाला.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Urbane, ambiguous, even-handed, untenable. Now, the correct answer is even-handed.
Even-handed as adjective.
निष्पक्ष, सभी के साथ बराबरी का व्यवहार करने वाला.
Fair, impartial, and unbiased. Treating all parties, sides, or individuals equally and without favoritism.
Synonym of
Even-handed.
Just, equitable, impartial, fair, unbiased.
Antonym of
Even-handed.
Biased, prejudiced, arbitrary, inequitable, one-sided.
Here is the word family of even-handed, as a noun even-handedness, as an adjective even-handed, as an adverb even-handedly.
The judge was praised for being even-handed in his rulings. The manager was known for being even-handed and fair with all employees. The journalist's even-handed reporting earned him a reputation for being unbiased. The teacher was even-handed in her grading and treated all students equally. The mediator was able to resolve the conflict by taking an even-handed approach.
common collocation of
Even-handed.
Even-handed approach. Definition: an approach or attitude characterized by fairness, impartiality, and treating everyone equally. Examples: the judge adopted an even-handed approach in delivering justice, considering all evidence and arguments before making a ruling. Even-handed justice. Definition: the fair and unbiased application of laws and regulations. Examples: the legal system aims to ensure even-handed justice by treating all individuals equally under the law. Even-handed decision-making. Definition: making decisions in a fair and impartial manner, considering all relevant factors and perspectives. Examples: the manager demonstrated even-handed decision-making by objectively evaluating employee performance and providing fair feedback. Even-handed judgment. Definition: a fair and balanced assessment or evaluation based on unbiased consideration of all available information. Examples: the mediator provided an even-handed judgment in resolving the dispute, considering the interests of both parties. Even-handed policy. Definition: a policy or guideline that is fair and equitable, treating all individuals or groups in a balanced manner. Examples: the company implemented an even-handed policy for promotions, ensuring equal opportunities based on merit and performance.
Next question. Producing or capable of producing an abundance or large number of something, especially in a short period of time. Yielding or generating an abundant quantity of a particular substance or result.
अत्यंत उत्पादक, बहुत काम या परिणाम देने वाला.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Prolific, scrupulous, aesthetic, lugubrious. Now the correct answer is prolific.
Prolific as adjective.
अत्यंत उत्पादक, बहुत काम या परिणाम देने वाला.
Producing or capable of producing an abundance or large number of something, especially in a short period of time. Yielding or generating an abundant quantity of a particular substance or result.
Synonym of
Prolific.
Fertile, fruitful, productive, abundant, fecund.
Antonym of
Prolific.
Barren, fruitless, unfruitful, unproductive, impotent.
Here is the word family of prolific, as a noun prolificacy, as an adjective prolific, as an adverb prolifically.
The musician is a prolific composer, with over 500 songs to his name. The athlete had a prolific season, setting several records and winning numerous awards. The prolific writer has published 10 novels in the last 5 years. The artist was known for her prolific output of paintings. The scientist made many groundbreaking discoveries during her prolific career.
collocation of
Prolific.
Prolific, writer. Definition: a writer who produces a large number of books, articles, or stories. Examples: Agatha Christie is known as a prolific writer, having written over 60 detective novels. Prolific composer. Definition: a composer who creates a large amount of music. Examples: Mozart was a prolific composer, composing more than 600 works in his short life. Prolific songwriter. Definition: a songwriter who consistently writes many songs. Examples: Bob Dylan is a prolific songwriter, known for his extensive catalog of influential songs. Prolific inventor. Definition: an inventor who comes up with numerous, innovative ideas or inventions. Examples: Thomas Edison was a prolific inventor, holding over 1,000 patents for his creations. Prolific filmmaker. Definition: a filmmaker who produces a large number of films. Examples: Woody Allen is a prolific filmmaker, directing and writing numerous movies throughout his career.
Next question. Difficult to understand, especially because of being abstract or complex, obscure, or not easily grasped or understood.
दुरूह, कठिन, जिसे समझना बहुत मुश्किल हो.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Jaundiced, obdurate, abstruse, soporific. Now the correct answer is abstruse.
Abstruse as adjective.
दुरूह, कठिन, जिसे समझना बहुत मुश्किल हो.
Difficult to understand, especially because of being abstract or complex, obscure, or not easily grasped or understood.
Synonyms of
Abstruse,
Recondite, obscure, mysterious, deep, intricate.
antonyms of
abstruse,
Easy, plain, simple, clear, concrete.
Here is the word family of abstruse. As a noun abstruseness, as an adjective abstruse, as an adverb abstrusely.
Some of the passages in James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake are considered abstruse due to the complex language and stream of consciousness style. The software manual was filled with technical jargon and proved abstruse to novice users. The philosopher's argument was so abstruse that even other philosophers found it difficult to follow. A professor's lecture on quantum physics can be abstruse to students who lack a background in physics. The financial statements for the company were filled with abstruse terminology that made it hard for investors to understand the company's financial health.
Here are some useful collocations of
Abstruse.
Abstruse language. Definition: complex or highly technical language that is hard for many people to comprehend. Examples: the legal document was filled with abstruse language that required the assistance of a lawyer to interpret. Abstruse philosophy. Definition: deep and intricate philosophical ideas or theories that are challenging to grasp. Examples: the philosopher's work delved into abstruse questions about the nature of existence and reality. Abstruse mathematical equation. Definition: a complex mathematical equation or formula that requires advanced knowledge to solve. Examples: the mathematician presented an abstruse equation that left most of the audience perplexed. Abstruse literature. Definition: literature characterized by complex symbolism, abstract themes, and layered meanings. Examples: the novel is known for its abstruse narrative structure and intricate symbolism. Abstruse scientific theory. Definition: a highly intricate scientific theory that requires extensive knowledge and expertise to comprehend. Examples: the astrophysicist proposed an abstruse scientific theory about the origins of the universe.
Next question. It implies a sense of caution or warning and is often used to describe something that serves as a reminder or a warning to be careful or to avoid certain behaviors or actions.
चेतावनीपूर्ण, सलाह या चेतावनी देने वाला.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Admonitory, placid, approbatory, voracious. Now the correct answer is admonitory.
Admonitory as adjective.
चेतावनीपूर्ण, सलाह या चेतावनी देने वाला.
It implies a sense of caution or warning and is often used to describe something that serves as a reminder or a warning to be careful or to avoid certain behaviors or actions.
Synonyms of
Admonitory.
Warning, monitory, cautionary, reproachful, exemplary.
Antonyms of
Admonitory.
Favorable, persuasive, favorable, non-representational.
Here is the word family of admonitory. As a noun admonition, as a verb admonish, as an adjective admonitory, as an adverb admonishingly.
The coach's speech to the team had an admonitory message about the dangers of complacency and the need for continuous improvement. The teacher used an admonitory tone to emphasize the importance of following the rules. The parent gave their child an admonitory warning not to talk to strangers. The company's policy handbook had an admonitory tone, warning employees of the consequences of breaking the rules and emphasizing the importance of compliance. The warning label on the product had an admonitory message, listing potential hazards and providing instructions on proper use.
Here are some useful collocations of
Admonitory.
Admonitory attitude. Definition: a demeanor that reflects a readiness to caution or reprove. Examples: the supervisor maintained an admonitory attitude to enforce workplace rules. Admonitory statement. Definition: a formal or official statement that serves as a warning or caution. Examples: the company issued an admonitory statement about the potential risks associated with their new product. Admonitory language. Definition: language that conveys a reprimand, warning, or cautionary message. Examples: the coach used admonitory language to motivate the players to improve their performance. Admonitory note. Definition: a written note or message with a warning or reminder. Examples: she left an admonitory note for her roommate to clean up after using the kitchen. Admonitory feedback. Definition: feedback that contains critical remarks or advice for improvement. Examples: the manager provided admonitory feedback to the employee regarding his punctuality issues.
You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.